What's up, guys? Welcome to another song review. Of course, we're taking a look at the song Why Don't You Know by Chungha, going deeper than of course than I could have done with my music video reaction, because those was my first impression, thoughts and opinions. Now we're going to go for some more thought out and expanded thoughts and opinions. So, like I do with all of my videos and my music video reactions, whatever, I'm just gonna be straight with you guys. I'm gonna tell you what I thought about this song, what I liked about it, and what I did not. And then, of course, like I do with my first impression videos, we're gonna open it up for some discussion for you guys down in the comments. So if that is something that you guys are interested in, and of course hearing more of what I have got to say, then please do consider clicking on the subscribe button down below. So let's get into the review by basically saying, and just, I suppose, giving away the entire review here, but you want to stick around so you can hear what I actually have to elaborate on what I'm going to say. But I just have to say that this song is just plain average. There's really no other way around it. It's just average. There's nothing special about it. There's nothing that's horrible about it, I guess, depending on the way that you want to look at it, because I just was like, oh, maybe there's one thing, but there isn't anything that I personally think is particularly amazing or really noteworthy of praise and singling out as something that is good, but there isn't anything that's necessarily like bad or really super crazy deserving of singling out as something that was bad. Stuff that can be improved, probably stuff that could have been, or that is better than other parts of the song, definitely. Of course, there's always that thing, and of course it's kind of subjective as to what you think versus what I think, but just overall for the entirety of this song, I just got to say that it is particular. It's a pretty average sounding song. The sound, of course, making it average is just not anything particularly unique. It's definitely hard, of course, with being a K-pop song or trying to release something in the whole K-pop scene where everything's being done, like every group is covering every corner of sounds and styles and all that stuff that could possibly be done. I know it's a little bit difficult to be a little bit different, but I think amongst all the groups that are doing stuff that's a little bit the same, the thing that kind of sets them apart, of course, is like whatever sense of personality that the group takes on. Like, I guess the best example that I can give is that, or the best example of like this group's got a personality and they've got an identity that they go out with, is Cosmic Girls, who have a very clear kind of identity as a group that kind of is supposed to reflect a little bit at like outer space, a little bit something that's a little off and a little weird. And the whole outer space theme definitely plays into, or has played into, a lot of their music videos. Red Velvet's another group too that has a pretty clear identity on what a lot of their music is all about. And you can of course debate on whether or not any of those songs and their sounds are similar to any other group, but like that Red Velvet is Red Velvet, Cosmic Girls is Cosmic Girls, and their visual style and a little bit their sound are unique enough to them that they stand out separately from everyone else who's doing something that might be in that same lane. So that's kind of the thing that's really could have done, that's something that could have been improved with this song, is that I think that I don't really get any sort of sense as to like who she is as a performer, other than like, as everybody knows, she was a fourth place on Produce 101. She was a member of IOI, which is cool and everything, right? But that's not enough to set you apart from everybody else, because you also have to consider that she's a solo act, but she's also competing with every other big K-pop group. And then you also have to consider too that amongst all those K-pop groups, there are solo acts that come out of those K-pop groups that she's also competing against. And I mean, the cards and all that stuff are stacked against her pretty heavily from the beginning, and you got to do something to set yourself apart and come out with something that is unique. And that's not to say that through one song is really enough to say like, she has no personality, but in this song I just don't feel a whole lot. And like I said, there's definitely, it's definitely going to happen where, something evolves and she kind of finds, the style and the personality that she wants to take on, or her stage persona, or whatever it is that's going to happen. The style will be found, and then that's going to be the moment when things like click, and the music and everything about this becomes, good about her. It's really, really, really good. The as far as this being similar to like a lot of other stuff, the group that comes to mind first as to like what the sound of this song is similar to, I just immediately think Card, or I thought Card. As soon as I was watching my music video for the first time, I was like, this sounds a lot like Card. But maybe it's the music videos that Card has put out. But I do think that Card has a little bit of a darker sound to their music. But at the very heart of it, the very core of the sound and the genre influence in this song, it's basically the same. It's just, I guess the difference is the tone and the visual presentation of the song. And again, that's not bad. It just is like, it feels like Card. It was making me think about Card more than I was actually thinking about the fact that Chungha was in front of me on the music video doing her thing. And playing, and I guess playing into the whole aspect of like her personality in the song, and how the song and the music video just sort of lacked that personality. So I got people in my reaction video comments saying that she's a really good dancer. Like that's her, I guess I suppose that would be her strength. And yet the choreography in the music video at least didn't really showcase any sort of intensive choreo as far as what I could see. Like it was definitely good, well executed and stuff like that, but it wasn't anything that was like really, really impressive. Like, wow, she's a performer, she's a dancer, she's really, really good at dancing, right? There wasn't anything like that in the music video, at least from my perspective, and from what I personally saw with my eyes and the way that I interpreted it, right? So that's really that. I mean, ultimately, like I said, just to kind of summarize that entire point briefly, is that the song and the music video is pretty generic, bland, and like that's fine. That's perfectly cool to just go with whatever the trending sound is in K-pop, but you need a little bit of personality, a little bit of flair, some persona, some stage presence or something like that to, make yourself stand out, which I didn't really get a feeling of through this music video. And from the what people have said, like she's a good dancer, so you could have just highlighted the fact that she's a really, really good dancer, and that would have been the one thing that potentially set her apart from other people. Not musically, visually, but it would have been enough as far as the music video being the promotion thing to try and sell her debut. And then the final thought as to something that could possibly be improved, which isn't horrible, but are also not good, are her vocals. Now, when I listened to the song for the first time through the music video, I was getting some really, like, the audio was bad. And I did say in that video that I kind of think that the audio off of the YouTube video is really, really, really bad. Like it kind of ruined the vocals. And as I listened to it I got a different, audio source and all that stuff. So as soon as I listened to that, then I realized that, yeah, the YouTube upload is horrible. It does not do any sort of help to make her vocals sound good in any way. But despite that, I still don't think that her vocals are great. They're not bad in any way. Definitely, very, good, and she did a great job with singing all of her parts. But I do get the feeling at points, especially when she's reaching the higher range or the higher notes during the choruses and stuff like that, is that maybe this stuff's a little bit out of reach for her at this moment in time. So, and I did say this, of course, in the reaction video. Of course, that was mistaken because I got her identity mixed up with somebody else. But, I did say, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Twice and their debut, where I thought that Twice was, like, they could have used potentially just a little bit more work to, find a way to, play to their strengths and not try and do things that are just out of reach for, their capability and their current ability. So, like, there's nothing really particularly bad about this song, in all honesty. I think it's pretty good, but some things that can definitely be, are there things that can be improved on? Definitely, without a doubt. Like, she's going to improve as a vocalist, like, without a doubt, right? She's gonna spend a lot of time doing that vocal training every single day, or however frequently they do it. She's gonna be doing her dancing. She's gonna be doing all of the things that they do as a K-pop idol and improving. So, you know, with that being said, like, this is actually not a horrible, you know, start to a career. You know, granted, it's not like the polish that you would expect to hear from, you know, someone coming out of a big company or something like that. But of course, she's not really signed with the biggest company on the planet either. So I suppose that that's kind of expected. But at the same time, you know, for someone who is hyped and has the notoriety that she does as a Produce 101 contestant, like, they could have done a little bit better with it, but at the same time, it really isn't a horrible sort of thing. So it's a good start to her career, and I see that there is plenty of room for improvement, just like as with every other group that makes a debut, in all honesty. And I mean, I think that she'll do it. I think that things will go well. So, you know, with all that being said, and all of that, you know, the stuff that I just had, you know, pointed out here as things that I think were a little bit lacking and could be improved upon, I think she can do it. Honestly, I do. You know, because there's nothing in this song, in this music video, that is indicated otherwise. And I am very, 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 very interested and eager to listen to more of her music. So hopefully she gets the opportunity to release more stuff and just continue to develop and grow as a, you know, singer and a K-pop idol. So that's all I gotta say. That's my review of this song. So now we're gonna turn it over to you guys to let me know what you guys thought about this. You know, if you agree with anything that I've got to say, if you want to challenge any of it, of course, you know, that's perfectly fine as well. You know, drop your comments and your responses and your thoughts and stuff like that down in the comment box below. You know, we're trying to create a community here where we're focused on having some friendly and respectful discussion about our opinions, whether we agree or disagree. Like, I encourage you guys to, like, if you don't agree with me, then challenge me. You know, tell me why. Give me some good reasons as to why you don't agree with me, or why you like a song that I don't, or why you don't like a song that I do. Right? Tell me. I want to talk about it. I really, really do. So if that is something that is kind of interesting to you, of course, you want to join that community, then please do consider clicking on the subscribe button down below. So that's all that I have got to say. That is going to be it for this video. As always, I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time.